Hello again from Smart Work. We're excited to introduce you to inspiring people and groundbreaking tools that promise to blow away every limit. Ready for a truly surprising experience? Let's go!
Bending rebar. We start with a beautiful lesson in pure mechanical advantage. This manual bender uses ball bearings to minimize friction, letting simple leverage precisely shape half-inch hardened steel rebar, a task impossible with brute force alone. Log debarking. From precisely shaping metal, we now turn to stripping raw timber. That serrated roller grips and spins the log against the blade, peeling the bark in seconds. This is crucial for milling, as bark dulls saws and contaminates the final product. Lathe turning. Now, from brute force to fine art. A wood lathe spinning at over 2000 RPM allows a skilled hand to carve with incredible precision. Notice how the fine wisps of wood fly off, revealing a perfectly symmetrical form. Granite drilling. But what if your material isn't soft wood, but one of the hardest stones on earth? You introduce a diamond-tipped core drill and a constant stream of water, not just for cooling, but to flush out abrasive dust and prevent the bit from binding. Parametric wood wall. This is where engineering meets artistry. By making precise, calculated cuts, a technique called kerf bending, a rigid sheet of plywood transforms into a flexible, flowing wave. It's structural origami, planned on a computer and executed perfectly. Large roller bearing assembly. Look at the scale of this. These aren't tiny ball bearings. They're massive cylindrical rollers designed to handle immense radial loads, likely in the tens of thousands of pounds. This is the kind of hardware that keeps wind turbines and mining equipment turning. Wood auger drill. This isn't just drilling, it's excavating. The aggressive pitch of that auger bit is designed for maximum material removal with each rotation. It's all about high torque, not high speed, to power through dense logs without stalling. Feller buncher. This is the apex predator of the forest. The TigerCat 724G uses incredible hydraulic power, likely operating at over 3000 psi, to grip, shear through a full-grown pine tree in seconds, and then bunch it for collection. Combine harvester. From a single tree to an entire field. This combine is a factory on wheels, performing 3 ancient jobs at once: reaping, threshing, and winnowing. It condenses a week of manual labor into a single, hypnotic pass. Car seat foam sculpting. Ever wonder how car seats get their comfortable shape? After the main foam is molded, specialists use tools like this electric knife and orbital sander to add custom bolstering and perfect the contours for optimal support. Valve assembly line. Automation is great, but some tasks still need that human touch. Here, a worker performs a quality check, using a simple hand tool to ensure each brass valve component is perfectly seated before it moves down the line. Catalytic converter recycling. This is modern-day alchemy. A hydraulic press crushes an old catalytic converter to extract the ceramic honeycomb inside. That dust contains precious metals like platinum and rhodium, worth more per ounce than gold. The bending press brake. Witnessing thousands of pounds of force at work. A hydraulic press brake uses a punch and die to create a clean, sharp bend in thick steel plate. The articulating die design ensures a uniform angle along the entire length. Accordion door. A brilliant solution for tight spaces. Unlike a swinging door, this accordion-style partition collapses neatly onto itself, following a simple track. It's a classic example of how clever mechanics can redefine a living space. Yogurt packaging machine. Here, automation is all about speed and hygiene. This rotary machine operates in a perfect rhythm, dropping cups, filling them with a precise volume, heat sealing the foil lids, and sending them off for packing, untouched by human hands. Screen printing. A beautifully simple process for a complex design. A squeegee forces ink through a fine mesh screen, but only where the pattern isn't blocked by an emulsion. The key here is maintaining the perfect angle and pressure for a crisp print. Robotic brick stacking. This robotic arm is the unsung hero of the brickyard. Using pneumatic grippers, it arranges freshly made bricks into specific patterns for firing in the kiln. This ensures even heat distribution and prevents damage during the process. Hot coil spring winding. That's not just red paint. That steel bar is glowing at over 1,600 degrees Fahrenheit, making it pliable. The machine then hot coils it around a mandrel to create a heavy-duty spring, likely for vehicle suspension or industrial machinery. Motor winding removal. When a large electric motor fails, this is how you start the repair. A torch heats the copper windings to burn off the insulating epoxy. Then a chain and puller use brute force to rip the old coils out of the stator core for rewinding. Expanding wooden box. This isn't just a box. It's a marvel of mechanical joinery. The interlocking dovetail design allows the layers to pivot and expand, revealing multiple compartments. It's a puzzle box you can actually use. Firecracker production. A machine that demands respect. This assembly line carefully braids the fuses into the firecracker bodies at an incredible speed. As an engineer, all I can think about are the safety interlocks and materials used to prevent a catastrophic chain reaction. Wood finger jointing. This is how you turn small, scrap pieces of wood into long, strong boards. The machine cuts interlocking, finger, profiles which are then glued together. This creates an incredibly large surface area for the glue, making the joint stronger than the wood itself. Spiral onion slicer. Sometimes the most satisfying tools are the simplest. This hand crank slicer uses a lead screw to guide the onion across a fixed blade, turning the entire vegetable into one continuous, perfect spiral. It's a brilliant kitchen gadget. Marble gang saw. How do you slice a massive block of marble into uniform slabs? With a gang saw. A whole rack of blades moves back and forth in unison, slowly grinding its way through the stone with the help of a water and abrasive slurry. Carrot harvesting and washing. An amazing look at agricultural efficiency. After being harvested, the carrots are washed right in the field. This not only cleans them but also begins the cooling process, preserving their freshness all the way to your grocery store. Forging press. This is what real power looks like. A hydraulic forging press applies immense, controlled pressure. We're talking hundreds of tons, to a red-hot steel billet, forcing it into a die to form a complex, high-strength part. DIY oil dispenser. Here's a clever kitchen hack. By heating and piercing a bottle cap, then inserting a chopstick, you create two small holes. This allows air to enter as oil exits, preventing that frustrating glugging, and giving you a smooth, controlled pour. LED pillar light. This is where modern interior design gets really creative. A simple column is transformed with geometric cutouts and a strip of RGB LEDs. The result is a dynamic architectural feature that can change the entire mood of a room with the push of a button. Internal spline broaching. This is how you cut internal teeth, or splines, inside a metal part. A broaching tool, which is essentially a series of progressively larger cutting teeth, is pushed through the part, shaping the final profile in a single, powerful pass. Circular knitting machine. It's mesmerizing to watch. A circular knitting machine uses hundreds of needles working in sequence to create a seamless tube of fabric. This is the fundamental technology behind everything from socks to sweaters. Woodworking dowel joint. That's a classic mortise and tenon joint, reinforced with dowels. The tape acts as a perfect depth guide for drilling. This age-old technique creates an incredibly strong, hidden connection that's a hallmark of fine woodworking. Contour gauge tiling tool. How do you cut a tile to fit a perfectly irregular shape? With a contour gauge. The pins conform to the object, creating a perfect template to trace. This simple tool saves hours of guesswork and prevents costly mistakes. Agricultural tiller. This walk-behind tiller is a small farmer's best friend. Its tines churn the earth, breaking up compacted soil and preparing a perfect seedbed for planting. It's a huge leap in efficiency over using a simple hoe or spade. Metal rod peeling / threading. This machine is peeling away the rough outer layer of a steel rod like it's a carrot, revealing a pristine surface underneath. This process is essential before cutting threads to ensure they are clean, precise, and strong. Pottery glazing and firing. This is where science meets ancient art. The vase is dipped in a liquid glaze, then a torch is used in a process called rack firing. The intense, rapid heat causes spectacular, unpredictable chemical reactions in the glaze, creating a one-of-a-kind finish.